During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have my penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
You're
guys.
hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you
That's getting
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Woo! I wish I had a really snappy intro like we usually do, but we're just gonna blah blah. Hey guys, we're back. Revenge of the Sis after our holiday break. I tried to come up with a good, a pithy intro, but I'm still on
I want to try one on the fly. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's come back. Here we go. Hey guys, Revenge of the Sis. We don't like minorities.
Whoa, no, that's not where I can't do that.
What?
You can't because it's just not marketable, quite frankly.
Well, whatever. I'm not as good as you with these.
See, minorities buy things.
All right, that's fair.
So, you just cut out a...
Let me try this again. This will be. I got it. Trust me, I got this. Revenge of the Sis. Women shouldn't vote. There you go.
Better?
Better?
Hey, we got it. All right. I'll go with that. That one, whatever. I mean, that only eliminates, according to Google Analytics, that only eliminates 34.7% of our audience.
Hold on. If you listen closely, you could hear us. We put unlimited monetization now.
Fuck the limited monetization. Let's talk about the throttling of our channel.
Oh, my God. It is fucking real, folks.
Hey, Royce, remember when we used to show up in related videos for things?
We don't know more, dog. We don't know more. We're absolutely being pushed down to the ground.
We're like the fucking Polish government over here.
Yeah.
Just getting no love on YouTube.
We're doing our best, so that's why. But thank you, everybody that listens, because you guys really do help spread the word.
Yeah, and I conducted a series of experiments while I was on holiday.
Yes.
Now we're international, folks, so we gotta,
we have some
appeal
UK
to
listeners.
our folks across the pond. So I was on holiday. And winter holiday.
Did you have a happy Christmas? They say happy Christmas.
I sure did, and I had some crisps.
What's that thing they do where I'm sure my UK listeners will correct me, where they pop that thing for Christmas?
Docking?
No,
Their
that's
penises?
not docking.
Do that motion again? How did that go?
Look at this.
Yeah, so they're docking.
No, they pop the thing, the Christmas popping thing, where they pop it.
Plugging in a dehumidifier?
I don't know.
The motion is...
What's that thing you do on Christmas where you pop this thing and it has a little thing in it that you read?
And then you let 1 million Muslims into your country and they destroy it from the inside. What's that called? What's that tradition called?
Progress.
Diversity. However, you're going to have a license for that butter knife. Well, that's terrible. Yeah, so
It's not like they have a Muslim mayor or something in London, so relax.
Ooh.
I don't watch all international
Somebody
news.
pull
Is
up
there something
CNN?
I don't know?
There's
Is there something I don't know?
Yeah, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh no! What happened? Is it Voldemort again?
Well, here's the thing, Royce. They have a Muslim mayor.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, it's like something out of a nightmare over there. I've never seen a we weren't even going to talk about this, but now that we're making fun of you, England, strap in because you're going to catch a beating right now. Why is it we notice like, hey, you're being watched more in England? And then like most people, you know, your Ben Shapiro's or your Mark Levin's or your real radio professionals, they would look at that little trend and go, man, we need to start being nicer to those folks, get more of them to listen. We do the opposite. We're like, hey, English people are listening. Hey, English, here's why you're stupid.
What day is it, sir? It's the end of Ramadan, it is.
Could you people stop being in such denial about the state of your country and do something about it? Okay, thanks.
You sound like that white supremacist Tommy Robinson over there.
Oh, you mean a domestic terrorist, white nationalist?
Yes,
Tommy
him.
Robinson?
Him. Fucking
The
weirdo.
guy that like literally just goes,
Christmas crackers. That's what they're called. Christmas crackers.
I don't like all these people raping me sister and hitting her head with a rock. Oh, you racist. No. Look, somebody literally hit my sister in the head with a rock and raped her. Well, it's still pretty racist of you to say that. It's a different culture. They're not used to not hitting people with a rock at 13 and raping them.
On the upside, at least Muslims aren't doing anything bad in our country.
Is that the...
Minneapolis woman stabbed 14 times by Somali immigrant. Media blackout ensues.
This is this the one from months ago?
No, this is... Wouldn't you think... No, sir. This is from December 29th.
This is another one? Hey, guys, just want you to know right now, that is they're fucking UKing us right now in this country.
And I was in Minnesota recently to...
When he was there was with the last one.
Yeah. I was in Minnesota recently, and there is a lot of African Muslims there. I mean, a lot, like a ridiculous amount.
Specifically Somalis. Yeah. There's a lot of Somalis.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like Fargo. On the night of December 13th, Morgan Evanson.
So I saw somebody, getting chased by a lion, and then he raped and stabbed a woman. So I called it in.
End of story.
End of story. Yeah, I tell you what, man, Fargo season 3 is going to be lit.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be nuts. It's my deal here. Hey, it's my deal here, Mundabi.
Oh, God. I don't know. Now, every day I go out, I shovel the snow, and, all I hear is that Muslim call to prayer over the loudspeaker 5 times a day. And I'm like, hey, I got to get to my job,
They actually put the hijab on the ox. I'm bearing the big blue ox out there. It's very odd.
I had these fellers come shovel some snow for me, and in the middle of the job, they just lay a blanket down on my lawn and start facing the ground. It's really weird.
On the 9th of December 13th.
Oh, no, another one.
Morgan Evanson was here. Let me actually pull up her picture so we could see. On the night of December 13th, Morgan Evanson, walking home from work, was chased down, tackled, and reportedly stabbed and left for dead by a Somali migrant, bleeding profusely on the curb of the street. Everson was left with 14 stab wounds on her arms, neck, back, and her kidney was lacerated. Miraculously, Everson survived after hearing her screams. I know,
well, that's awesome. I assumed she was going to be dead.
No, she didn't die.
He read that headline, and I was like, oh.
After hearing her screams, neighbors came to her aid, and her attacker, described as a Somali man in his 20s, somewhat built and wearing a gray stone and wash jeans, fled the scene. Evanson had merely been walking home from work from work. An Apple store just 8 blocks away from her apartment. Police have called the incident a botched robbery, but Everton's attacker didn't take her purse or her money. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the city's largest newspaper, hasn't reported on the story. Police described the suspect as a man in his early 20s, about 5'7" with a light build, wearing gray stonewashed jeans. Just days ago, a memorial to this is the one you were talking about, Justine Diamond, an Australian woman shot and killed by a Minneapolis policeman of Somali descent who was fast-tracked into the force by name of diversity, was removed.
No. There's another one that they're still not talking about. I swear it. Maybe it's the Mandela effect.
Hold on. In September 2016, St. Cloud, Minnesota, Dahir Adin stabbed several people in a mall.
That's the one. See?
3. He was a refugee admitted into the United States. Don't want to live with rape refugees. Living with rape refugees. Don't want to live with rape refugees.
I'll tell you what. You want to throttle our videos? Yeah. You want to demonetize them? I'm just going to say it. Get them the fuck out. Get them out. Does it matter anymore? Are they giving us money anymore?
No.
Get them the fuck out. Get them out.
In November 2016 at Ohio State University, Abdul Razak Aline Artan hit pedestrians with his car before exiting. Before exiting his vehicle and stabbing several others. Again, he was a refugee admitted into the United States. November 2017, Maheen Abdirahman, a refugee, stabbed several in a shopping mall center. Nasik Center's Matthew LaCourte posted that refugees have injected with new life into St. Louis, Cleveland, Chicago.
They sure have.
Yeah, Minneapolis, Nashville, Baltimore, and other cities.
Things are sure lively.
He called me an infidel. Oh, he didn't use that word, if you know what I mean.
This is a soft run. This is a soft opening. What's going on right now in Minneapolis? I'm not trying to get all Alex Jones with you. I'm not going to be like, there's a plan and it's the globalists and they're trying to get these people in right. I'm not getting all in that. But there is this is a soft run. This is like a soft opening of where they've been dumping these Somalis in this area for a while now. And it's like, let's see how our diversity project happens. It's not fucking working. Get them out of here. Okay? I hate to say it, all right? Call me a racist.
You're a racist.
Well, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Glad you noticed.
No problem.
But go to Somalia. Go to
Is that the people that rate wine?
Go to Tanzania. Go to Zimbabwe. Okay. Don't get fucking annoyed. Don't fucking patronize me that I happen to be concerned when these people are allowed in mass numbers into a civilized country like America. Okay? Don't give me any of your leftist talking points. Oh, you must be threatened. Small man is threatened by the diver. No. These are men who 2 months ago were wielding hatchets and fucking cutting the legs off of white farmers and shit in Zimbabwe. And then it's like, hey, I'm a poor afflicted minority.
Want to be a cop?
I'm actually 13 years old when I'm really 30. God, from Syria, where we're all good guys and girls that just they're not enough. Get them the fuck out. Minneapolis is supposed to be the place, like me and Royce are always doing and I called it in,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Fargo. Do you understand? Like, you guys are pushing us so far right. You're making me a reactionary. I want to see culture preserved. I know that that's probably troublesome language for certain people.
Problematic.
I don't mean whites and white and all that stuff. I'm talking about our mini cultures in America. This is why I'm not even a big fan of big federal government. I like states to do whatever the fuck they want because Minnesota is supposed to be Minnesota. Yeah. They're supposed to be left alone. And New York City is supposed to be New York City. Yeah. And that's fine. It's the center of international finance. That's their whole thing. Florida is basically a place where you can get really good meth or pharmaceuticals from a guy for dirt cheap, and they're real. And you can just shoot guns off out of your car down I-4.
Which is pretty
Nobody
cool.
cares. Stop taking that away from us by dumping these and I'll say it, from the shittiest parts of the world. You're taking these fucking...
Someone hasn't heard the Toto song.
You are taking groups of people that aren't even first, third, or fifth round draft picks. You're talking about waiver wire, free agent type societies. Nobody will ever want them. Why do you want... Stop telling me it's to enrich our culture, okay? Sorry to say it, but Somalis don't have a whole lot to offer Minneapolis, Minnesota, okay? Stop. What is this? Now I'm mad. Oh. This is literally the best thing to ever come out of your continent.
And it was
this song.
White people wrote it. It's a white people song. Nothing to do with Africans.
I mean,
even this song, it's funny because you listen to the words, they care more about your animals than the people. They're not really popping up the people over there in the clit cutting thing.
I mean, it's... Look, stop acting like these people have nowhere to go. Europe's cucked fucking pretty much everywhere in the world right now, except for like Russia and a handful of other places are uncucked. We need to uncuck ourselves. Let Europe deal with it. If Europe wants to take in 5,000 Somalis, let the UK do it and their Muslim mayor. Stop. That
doesn't sound right.
This is
the word Muslim and mayor together do not sound right to me.
Not in London.
I don't believe it.
We're going to fucking kill ourselves if we don't stop this shit. This is, if America were a person.
You're an infidel, Harry.
If America were a person.
America is a person.
You would be trying to have an intervention for it. And if you're not trying to have an intervention for it, you're part of the problem. You're an enabler. Anyone who thinks dumping millions of Somali immigrants into a place like Minneapolis is a good idea should be fucking physically ejected from this country.
I like your plan. Are we going to use a trench bucket or some sort of catapult?
No, I was thinking, some sort of single rotary type aircraft.
Okay.
Perhaps.
All right. Like a helicopter?
Something maybe like a helicopter.
Okay.
I don't want to say I don't want to commit. We'll see what the budget is.
All right.
But if the budget ends up not being good, Royce's original idea, I think some sort of maybe a catapult or maybe a trebuchet, which are slightly more powerful.
I like that.
And they'll fucking fling them much further away. But the idea
Don't worry. On the other side, they're going to land on hard rock.
We have to... Like, do you understand? If you've heard about this Paul Nehlen guy that's running? He's out of his mind.
Who's this?
The craziest person ever. He's the first completely, fully hardcore alt-right.
What's his name?
Republican candidate Paul Nehlen, Nehlen. Have you not gotten into this guy?
No,
man. I thought he would have popped up on your timeline by now. He's gone full on. Like, here's the thing that sucks. He's like a John McAfee.
My finger.
Holy shit! I love him already.
Well, don't get too excited.
The gun thing.
Outlaw fingers. I also happen to have here a semi-automatic rifle with a suppressor on it, and I'm going to demonstrate that this isn't silent.
So what does this have to do with him running for Congress?
He's a badass. He loves America.
What's his problematic language?
Okay. Paul Nehlen is pretty much full on anti-Jew. And he's trying to get Paul Ryan's old space. He's going after Paul Ryan. And the thing is, he's fucking nuts.
I'm now joined by Paul Nehlen, who's going to be... Why are you planning on running against Paul Ryan in Wisconsin's 1st District?
I'm a manufacturing guy. I started out in a factory at 18 years old. I eventually ran that factory, got my engineering degree at night. I've run factories all around the United States and all around the globe. I was in charge of Europe, the Middle East.
You know who else ran a factory? Schindler. And I know that.
But before we get into Paul Nehlen, my long story short was connecting this to the Somali things. I don't want to get misquoted later. Is that you guys
Too late for that, my friend.
You guys are actually making it like where guys like Paul Nehlen are now making sense on some level as candidates, because at this point, we've had 30 to 40 years of these just cookie cutter fucking run of the mill, like, we're gonna do the thing for people, and they just go out and they sell us out. And it's been going on forever. The machine needs to be broken, and it needs to be broken, I say, dare I say, by some you can't just go, I'm gonna elect my guy. We need to fuck the system up and throw major wrenches in the gears and keep doing what Trump did and cost them money and make them just lose their minds. Paul Nehlen is a fucking virulent anti-Semite. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Okay,
obviously that's going on the cons on the list, but
right. Oh, I see how this works. On air, it's a con. Off air, it's pro.
Well, he's not like you and I are, where we talk about everybody on the show. We talk about whites, blacks, Hispanics, Jews. Everybody has a role to play in why the world is a terrible place. But we're not like anti-Semitic. This guy's pretty heavy on the anti-Semite stuff.
Okay.
But it's like, you understand when we're already reading these little stories that are getting buried where they're like, Somali immigrant fucking stabbed 70 people. We're having a mini Europe going on in here right now. We're pretending that we don't. And we're going to make it worse if we keep letting these people in. And crazy people like this are going to start getting elected. Watch. Mark my words. Because this is not some kind of... And I'm not saying Paul Nehlen's going to get elected. He's obviously a fucking nutcase. Like, he makes Augustus Invictus look like fucking Thomas Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like, it's relax. But he's there's going to be a thing now where we're forced to choose. Like, do I go with Paul Ryan? Literally Paul the Cuck Ryan. I don't care if the word's burned out. It's always going to be his nickname to me. Paul the Cuck Ryan. Or like, that's what's going to stay. If you keep feeding us this fucking Somali immigrant crisis and giving it, that's why they're suppressing it. Because if all this shit was in the mainstream news, if you were hearing about all this terrorism and all these shootings, you would be going, maybe I elect crazy Paul Nehlen. It's just one congressman.
It is kind of messed up that no news articles are picking up on this, especially like, somebody was fucking stabbed. That's not a normal occurrence even 10 years ago there.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to start getting really far right guys elected over the next coming years.
Why did they move there, by the way? Out of all places. I'm just curious why they moved to that tundra.
There is some sort of, it has to be either a city or a government. There has to be some kind of backdoor deal. Federal government is probably giving grants to somebody who will take in these fucking Somalis, and then we probably get some UN goodwill credit for it. I'm sure it's some system like that where we do it for goodwill. We get some Somalis in. We probably cut a couple bucks to a local municipality, and Minneapolis might have been one of the places that was like, yeah, we'll take them. And they're probably getting all kinds of little tax. I guarantee you, if you fucking, some money is being made or something's happening. This isn't some NWO. Oh, they're just shipping them in so they can rape us and stab us. That's not what it is. I'm sure this is, if you do it logically, you probably would look at like, all right, well, who wants them here? You'll find out how. There has to be a way to find out how it started. But I guarantee you there's some kind of money thing involved. They started putting some Somalis there. And then once you have a Somali community, I mean, how many cities have a Somali community?
Somalia.
Hey, that's a good answer. And Minneapolis now. But you probably started them, planted a little fucking base there, a hive, if you will. Is that racist?
I don't know. A cave?
A hive? Well, I feel like that's more racist.
I don't know why. Yogi Bear lived in a cave and he had a tie.
Holy shit, we're never going to... This is it, folks. We take a week off and we just forget that
this
is good.
Look, obviously we're a comedy show, but we're not joking. I'm kidding.
So anyway, they build this hive of stabby villainry and
villainry,
and black terrorism, and Somalis are
African American terrorism.
Somalis are also
pirates.
Spoiler alert! Overwhelmingly Muslim.
No,
get out of town, right?
Are you serious?
So this is all right. Look, this is all goes back to just Islam. Stop letting him in this country. I don't care if that's hate speech. Just stop letting him in, because I have very rarely in my life encountered physically, face to face, a cool Muslim.
Oh, by the way, this just in, Minneapolis's new mayor is quoted as saying, "Look at me, I am the mayor now."
How do you feel now, stupids? Jesus Christ, you need to make our buddy Mitch have to move even further north.
They're looking to move to fucking Alaska.
Mitch and his wife are going to call and be like, yeah, well, we're up in Iceland now.
Yeah,
so
we can't anymore with this bullshit.
Great. We got a nice volcano here that's dope. Looks pretty cool.
Well,
grow our own vegetables in the volcanic ash. You're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Trump demands border wall before he says he'll even talk about DACA. Yep.
He got the tax breakthrough now, and now
Yep.
he's just like, what up, dog?
What you gonna do, dog?
Fuck with me, motherfucker? That S&P keeps going up. Trump can just go, look, I'm doing the wall thing. Do your own thing.
You on board or you off board?
How's this going to work?
Yeah, so he said he's going to, he says, yeah, we'll fucking talk about it. He goes, the Democrats have told and fully understand that there can be no DACA without the desperately needed wall at the southern border and an end to the horrible chain migration and ridiculous lottery system of immigration. Trump posted on Twitter Friday. So he's not playing ball with them anymore. I think he learned his lesson.
Oh, and not only that, man, but we still got midterm elections, right? And
fuck, I have to cramp for those.
No, these you don't study for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just
makes sense.
You just pick a party and blindly go down the list.
That doesn't sound right, Mike.
That's how my parents,
people don't just do that, right?
That's how my parents did it.
People don't just do that, right?
Most people do that. I'd say 80% of America does that. No, yeah, but we got all that shit coming up. So this could be. Do you know Roy Moore is he's he's fighting. He's still kicking and screaming.
He's asking for an investigation.
Here's the thing. There's still been no actual proof that Roy Moore did anything. Mm-hmm. There have been very credible allegations, and I certainly do not discredit those. And we said many times on the show that he should have backed out of the race.
Yeah, we did say that.
That being said, I really hope I hate selling my soul to the devil and praying for this, but I really hope that Roy Moore wins the recount and the Democrats just get fucking blown out again. Just come on. If it turns out there was enough voter fraud, and if it turns out there was voter fraud, then what can you do? Then technically, and he's actually fighting it, and now there actually are several credible agencies saying, yeah, there's enough evidence for fraud here for a margin of error. So I am praying to all the evil gods that Roy Moore just comes in by 300 votes in Alabama. I want that.
The gods of Ted Kennedy.
I want to watch, because that would just be if that happened just in time for midterm elections, and then the whole fucking. Because then Antifa and all these people will come out of the woodworks. They're going to start smashing Starbucks windows. They're going to start acting a fool again. And everybody's going to start getting kind of more right-wing again. And then we'll just clean up in the Senate. And it'll be a beautiful day. And then knowing the way this works, knowing the way Trump works his whole operation, he will put a lot of pressure on day 2 and be like, step down. I'm gonna put some kid in your spot.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it. It's all it's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen? Paul Nehlen will be up there and taking Paul Ryan's job, and then they'll just move Paul Ryan down where Roy Moore was.
There you go. You're the new fucking. He doesn't even live there.
Here's the catch: you got to live in Alabama for 2 days a year.
Oh man!
All right, yeah, I'm out.
I won't do that. Not on purpose. Fucking.
I don't know. We got on a tangent.
So we talked about Trump at the Hall of Presidents.
You mean Hillary Clinton
Right.
that got reworked?
Correct. The Hall of Presidents.
They panicked when they made that. They were like, "Oh God, what do we do? This thing cost $300,000, and it was supposed to be Hillary."
Look how great the other presidents look compared to him.
I mean, they really look great. And then this one's just Hillary with a fucking Trump wig. Oh, that hand.
So, somebody was recording the new, Trump speech at the Hall of Presidents in Disney, and apparently they didn't like when the robot was saying. Let's just play the video.
M. Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan,
Here it comes. We're getting there.
George Bush, Bill Clinton,
Boo.
It's got his
George
dick out.
W. Bush, Barack Obama,
Here it comes. Here it comes. Get ready.
and now we come to the present. Once again, we place our trust in the idea of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history. I, Donald John
Lock
Trump,
him up!
do solemnly
Lock him
swear
up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
What is happening? right now?
They're yelling. They're yelling at a.
Does he know that's a robot right now?
They're yelling. They're yelling at a robot, and they're ruining the experience for other people at Disney World.
First of all, I don't like left-wing Jack Posobiec over here. All right,
is?
I don't like the cut of his jib. All right, Laura Loomer, you
I
don't
was
go
about
in.
to
And
say, God damn it!
you don't go running in, yelling people, and interrupting. Second of all, they're robots. They're not gonna. Like, he didn't feel anything.
They don't care. All right, let's let him.
What?
Maybe there's a good point. Hold on. Maybe you ruined a good point.
What?
I, Donald John
Lock
Trump,
him up!
do solemnly
Lock him
swear
up! Lock him up!
Quiet.
Lock him up!
guy went
Lock him
quiet.
up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
They're all yelling
Lock
at him.
him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
Hear the-
Lock him up! Lock him up!
All right, can you pause?
Sure.
I don't know if, given our sound quality, like obviously, because the guy's holding
This
his
is
cell
off
phone and
his cell phone.
screaming next
Yeah.
to it, so it's hard to really. But I want to convey with the headphones on to you guys, the crowd is clearly turning on this guy very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's look, I've been to Disney before. I've been to Disney with Royce before, and there's a vibe there. You don't fuck the vibe up. You know what I mean? There's no drunks running around like, "Ah!" Like, it's Disney's a very
It's for kids, man.
You go around,
Yeah.
you kids run around and twirl like idiots.
Yeah.
It was.
This isn't Busch Gardens.
He screamed, "Lock him up." The first time he screamed it, somebody was like, shut up.
up.
I heard it. And then, he said quiet. And then, dude, the more he yells it, I can hear there's a swell of people going, shut up. I come a kids here. Shut up.
Lock him up! 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 Lock him up!
I think I heard someone say, "Can we get that guy out of here?" Something like that.
That, dude.
By the way, he started screaming at 1 minute and 20 seconds. This video ends at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. He did it for a straight minute.
Lock him
Because,
up!
by the way, you know why this happens? Disney's not used to this. They're not, like you said.
It's always calm.
There's this understanding, like you don't have Disney people sitting in the rides. Like, they're usually outside of the rides because no one ever gets to a fist fight in the Carousel of Progress. You know what I mean?
That is, yeah, exactly. Especially the Hall of Presidents.
Like, that's the most. First off, let's be
nobody's
honest.
there who's not a nerd.
No, yeah, the Hall of Presidents. We called it as the kid as the air conditioning ride. Because when you would go there in the summer and they had lines, you're like, let's just go to the Hall of Presidents. It's cold in there, and we'll just chill out for a bit, and then we'll go back out. We'll cool off, and we'll go do something else.
Yeah, it's a good resting spot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, I love history.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd be like,
Oh, I like the Hall of Presidents.
I would be like Larry David. Did you see a picture of him with the cannon?
Yeah.
With his daughter just being bored?
Which
that
is
would be me.
hilarious.
Yeah, I would be all into that. But that's what I mean. So there's no security waiting there because it's a bunch of nerds like us that either want to get coal or just be like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
man.
the security's all at the Haunted Mansion for people that are trying to bang on the ride to be goth.
You're just in there going stoned, going, wow, Ben Franklin rules, bro.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So this guy, but this crowd's turning on him.
Yeah.
They're clearly annoyed. And I just want to say this. This is what, this is why the left will fail. One of the many reasons is because they just have this tolerant, everybody's great, everybody succeeds, and everybody's a winner on our side. You encourage each other in some of the most insufferable, incorrigible behavior. And by all encouraging each other and just being Aspergery in general, shit like this, do you understand how many of those people were like on the fence voters? You know what I mean? And they see this. It only takes a guy like this to convert 2 or 3 new voters by making a scene. You're making a scene.
Yep.
And when you're doing this and you ruin it, there are people now that are probably going to vote for a Republican senator next year to spite you.
You don't need to look for a fucking control thing. Look at me. I didn't vote for Trump. I am 100% voting for Trump next election.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because even if there's a lot of things we don't agree that he does, but there's a lot of things we do. And at the end of the day, no matter what he tweets, he's been a really conservative president. His policies have been super just conservative.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, that's what they hate.
Yeah.
It's the conservatism is the new counterculture.
Yeah.
No, but they don't want us to have that whole nationalist American put ourselves first. Like they wanted us set up to where we were spreading our American money out all over the world and giving our shit away, and we're not doing that anymore. And it's frustrating to a lot of people. And a lot of people in the media and the Democrats, but that's just too goddamn bad. Fucking markets are up. Bitcoin's still, even after the bubble of Bitcoin, it's still holding up. Look, you guys are just going to have to fucking deal with it. Probably going to have to deal with them for another 6 years. That's just, them's the breaks.
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
They're all yelling
Lock
at
him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
I love how he's tiring out. Lock him up. How long am I going to do this?
Him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
Do you not understand the
Lock him
irony
up.
here is that they should be locking you up? Put that motherfucker in Disney jail.
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
And the best part is he filmed
They're
this.
saying you need to remain seated and quiet, is what they were saying to him.
It's the best part is he filmed this.
And he's the one that put it online.
And he thought
He was that confident, Mike.
that he thought these people are gonna love it. And then even when they didn't love it, he still was like, I'm a rebel. This is mental illness. And
he's tranny?
Probably.
Listen to his
Sounds
voice.
like one.
Yeah, good point.
But this is mental illness, and this is why you guys on your team, you have more of the mentally ill people.
Yeah.
And you can say, look, there's plenty of crazy people on the right. Fucking boomers are retarded. The alt-right can get super annoying. But at the end of the day, our mentally ill are much more under control, and we police them a little better.
Yeah, unless they're driving a Dodge Challenger. We can't help. We can't
Look,
help all
man,
of it.
I can't control every guy in a car. You
That's
know what
a good
I mean?
point.
Sometimes, whatever.
Hey, you know what? Neither can they. Caitlyn Jenner killed a dude, remember?
So, funny story. I'm in Charlottesville one day, and I see this kid, and his name's James. I'm
Oh,
sitting
boy,
there.
here we go.
He's leaning on his sweet-ass car.
It's a fly car.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, man, what's up, dude? We're talking and stuff, and then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, I'm going to run up to the store, get some, get a Slurpee and a hot dog, and I'm like, yo, can you get me one, too, and get me a pack of smokes? So he takes off in his car. I never see him again.
Oh, weren't you quoted as saying, hey, wouldn't it be hilarious if someone drove the car into that group of people? Was that you? I don't remember if that was you.
I might have written it on the dollar bill I handed him.
Okay, that's fair. That works.
I don't know if anybody saw that, though. I did troll the Pictures in History page with the Revenge of the Cis page. And they had a picture of, like a black and white picture of a 1969. It's a crash test of a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
And I did post a picture from Charlottesville as Revenge of the Cis. And I wrote 2017 crash testing of a Dodge Challenger. And I don't know if
That's not nice.
over too well.
That's why we don't do well on YouTube.
And I picked the picture of him leaning on the hood, like, what up?
Did you see Jesse Waters eat a steak while debating toxic masculinity?
He better
with
eat a steak.
feminist?
He looks high as fuck.
He does. Let's. Did you guys see it on Fox News? Here.
Meat creates toxic masculinity, according to a university professor. Eating meat is bad for you, it's bad for the country, and it reinforces gender stereotypes, apparently. But it tastes so good. Joining me now, Dr. D'Alessio Parson. Okay, doctor.
All right. First off, she's disgusting. We're going to point that out immediately, that she's ugly?
Is she totally disgusting?
All right, well, let's see.
Why is eating meat bad, really?
Well, we have to back up because I think at the beginning just said eating meat creates toxic masculinity. The toxic masculinity is already there.
It's already there. Does
I hate this girl already.
Does eating meat make toxic masculinity worse?
It's one of the ways in which it can reinforce existing kind of social structures, including patriarchy.
Well, how does that reinforce?
You heard her. What don't you understand? I'll wait till you put the headphones back on.
It's fine. I just wanted to
rub. Yeah, no problem.
It's one of those, man. This girl's off-putting.
Or social structures where men dominate eating meat.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
We'll break it down for
How about this, though? You said we had 4 or 5 minutes, right?
Just keep it simple. How does eating meat make the genders unequal?
Eating meat holds a lot of symbolism, and it really is too much to explain in 4 minutes.
You can't explain it in 4 years.
So let me ask you something. Dr. D'Alessio Parson, you dumb bitch.
Professor Dr. D'Alessio Parson.
Listen here, you goofy elven-eared bitch.
Seriously.
God, cover up those ears.
Fucking looks like, you're right, she looks like Legolas.
She really does. Oh my God, she's the worst.
Well, maybe she's less a cunt. I don't know what the proper term is. Is she Indian, or those are Indian, right? Is that an Indian name?
She's got some kind of Indian look to her, I think.
Yeah. She looks like a background character from the Dhalsim stage in Street Fighter 2.
I'm just cheering them
Yeah.
on. I love your long arms.
Great job. I love your long arms. That's the only. You got great arms, bro. You have great arms, Dhalsim.
I mean, the other guy can shoot a shockwave out of his hand, which is way cooler, but whatever. Your arms are cool, I guess. God damn, I totally lost my point that I wanted to explain.
Don't worry.
To this woman.
So did she.
Listen, Dr. D'Alessio Parson, and I know you can hear me with those things you got on the side of your head.
And dog whistles.
Don't fucking, when you're out there desperately emailing people to be on their show, like I do on a regular basis, try to promote their show. If they say to you, look, we have you on, you have 4 minutes, right? They're going to tell you that. No show has ever been like, yeah, we'll have you on. And then you're like, all right, whatever. I mean, we do that, but.
Yeah, okay, to be fair.
But Fox News is like, look, it's 4-minute block, and then you got 5-minute commercials for gold, and then the old second mayor.
Food insurance.
And then the second mayor of Sim City, he shills some financial insurance. And then right back to this dumb, big-eared bitch. And then we go right into fucking Steve Ducey's got some shit to talk about tomorrow.
Oh, don't worry about it. They're also going to use presidents from TV shows that old people remember to sell them the products.
Yeah, ever since e-trading became a thing, there's no more floor traders at the stock exchange, so all those people became news producers. They just run around and yell frantically and be like, turn the fork line, switch this screen. So this bitch, this fucking weird, creepy, Pocahontas elven-looking bitch, actually knew she had maybe 4. They probably went 4. Saw 5, maybe.
Yeah.
Of time. You knew that your babbling bullshit was not going to fit into 4 minutes, but you came on anyway. So don't fucking go to him. Well, 4 minutes is a little hard to explain my batshit crazy theory
that I just made up on the cab right here.
I hate this woman. I hate you.
It has to do with the fact that our individual level decisions, the things we decide to do as individuals, what we consume.
She looks like a
what we put on our
stock
bodies,
RPG character.
The things we buy and put in our households are fundamentally political acts.
Do you want to stay at the end?
Right? The personal is political.
So I'm having.
Hey, you have to look at your health bar. No, I'm all right. Stop the next one.
So what you missed there during our laughing was
you want to stay at the end.
Yeah. That would be 10 gold. 10 gold coins.
Literally, as you said it, I looked and just pictured the little box underneath.
In case somebody wants to Photoshop this and just change this at the bottom too, would you want to stay at the end with the Skyrim font?
Actually, can we freeze frame? Can we just freeze frame this right now?
Yeah.
I need that exact shot. I'm gonna meme the fuck out of that later.
There you go. I made it full screen for a second so we could pull it later.
All right, good,
There you
because
go.
I'm gonna have some fun with this goofy bitch.
There you go.
Congratulations, Dr. D'Alessio Parson. You're about to get memed.
Okay.
Right? The personal is political.
Okay. So I'm having a steak right now because I'm starving.
I hear you. I wish I could have half of that, but this doesn't look vegan, and I'm trying to be vegan.
You're a vegan?
It's really hard because I don't know if I told you I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And cheese was like one of my favorite.
From what
things.
part of Wisconsin are
that
you
looks-
from? Huh? Because you don't look like many Wisconsin people I know.
Yeah, seriously. What part of? Well, she was. Her, you know, to be fair, her family's probably been in Wisconsin lands longer than white people.
That's a good
She's
point.
got that look to her.
It's pretty good. It's a little rare, medium rare.
Yeah.
Is
Got
this
some
Steak
nice
looks
studding
good,
on
actually.
top of that.
Dude, if
Is
he
this
just, you saw the way the lady was
bad
dressed that
that
brought
I'm
it out to him. That thing was made by somebody.
Totally different.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
The
legit
blood's on your
steak.
hands. Right now, you're kind of just enjoying the benefit and the blood.
They probably went downstairs to the Ruth Chris or something. I swear, that's probably, that looks what it looks like. Because anything about the Fox building is where the Ruth Chris is or something. They probably just went downstairs, ordered a steak, and brought it
The
up.
idea of killing and taking a life. That's
true.
That we should really deeply consider what that
He
means
keeps
for us as
eating
human
it.
beings. You know, people have said you should judge a society by how it.
You know it's good
treats their
because he just keeps going.
And it's good. But he should get some sides on it, too. They look just like steak. Maybe throw some sides on that bad
There
boy.
was.
Oh, there was?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay,
got
cool.
some
cool. He's got-
asparagus, it looks
I
like
like
some.
that.
Afford it. Look,
Really?
spinach
'Cause we're
looks like
$23 million
spinach.
in debt.
Oh, cream spinach, I think.
I got some money. I got this
Do you
nice
care
mug.
more about people or animals?
I care about our world.
People. That's,
The answer
people.
is people.
The answer should always be
The answer is
people.
always people.
Unless you're a sociopath.
It's
The
people.
answer should be people. I understand that if you have time to save a baby or a puppy from a fire and you pick baby, yeah, you're probably going to be sad for a few years thinking about the puppy you couldn't save. But I can assure you that any non-psychopathic person would be far sadder if they went for the puppy and let a baby burn.
That's a very good
You
point.
know what I mean? Like, you both will haunt you, but a puppy, all right, well, I had to get the baby. What do you
Yeah,
want?
of course. Yeah.
Fucking crazy bitch.
And I think in order for us to achieve a more sustainable future, particularly regarding what's happening with climate change, we need to figure out how the 7.6 billion of us on this planet can be good.
Yeah, but to be fair,
Freeze frame key.
yes.
Oh, that was a good one.
To be fair, out of those 8 billion people, India has like 2 billion of them. So, you know, maybe look at your own fucking place first.
Look at it right now. Don't eat meat. Fuck yourself.
So, you know, you get the point.
Goofy.
That was the.
Let me put it this way, Dr. D'Alessio Parson. You're not hot enough to tell me not to eat meat. How about that? How
Yeah.
about doll it up a bit and then tell me what to do?
Is she even wearing makeup?
Yeah.
No lipstick. It doesn't look like.
No, there's a little bit of they do a little the makeup people definitely did stuff to her. I think she's just horrendous in real life. They did a good job. The same people that do her are the same people that do the hot women on Fox. They do, you know, look, you do the best with what you got.
Yeah.
And you could tell they did some chic stuff. They really gave her shape, but she's probably absolutely awful in real life, like just without Fox News.
And
people
no
were-
body, by the way. Just a rail.
Yeah, just no fun, no booty, no nothing.
Should probably eat some meat. Fucking help, man.
I guarantee you she would just be fun and have an ass overnight and be like, right.
Can we talk, Mike, about Joy Villa or Villa? How does it pronounce? I say Villa because I'm Hispanic.
Because we're white in America.
But I'm Hispanic. We're really white in America. Not in Minneapolis.
Anybody who calls
not
her-
in South Florida.
Anybody who calls her Joy Villa needs to go on the other side of the wall.
Joey Villa.
Goddamn fraud.
Yeah. So give me a little background. I only know her as the dress bitch, the one who.
That's the only reason. That's the only way I really knew of her. I knew of her as the dress bitch, as Royce said. She was just some hot black chick who was a singer who showed up at Trump stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. But I think Royce and I were still very much, at the time, falling for that sort of shit that really you have to only be a retarded boomer now to fall for it. But back then, it was like, oh, wow, look at this hot-based black chick. You know what I mean? And it was like, cool, man. Before the Merchant Right came out of everywhere. But anyway, it turns out she's a Scientologist. She pretends to be a Christian. She pretends to be pro-Trump. She just recently accused Trump's campaign manager now of sexual assault. It's like a whole train wreck, but she's still claiming to. She's like a red pill black who can sing, basically. But she's a Scientologist, it turns out. There's a lot going on with this bitch. Her old Twitter account, like she's got old tweets that she's never even bothered to take down where she's pro-Obama.
And Black Lives Matter, you told me?
Black Lives Matter. She's a lot of weird shit with this chick, so she's not what she seems.
Well, our buddy LAWerewolf.
Yeah, Frank did a good video here with a quick rundown.
Scientologist, fraud, fake Trump supporter. She is a succubus demon witch, just like Laura Loomer, designed to get money and power because that's all they care about. That's their end game in this whole thing. I'm going to break it down in great detail. But first, I want to tackle this whole Corey Lewandowski thing. Ask yourself the question, someone who does sexual deviant stuff like this and claims to be a Christian is going to file a claim against Corey Lewandowski. Is that something an infiltrator would want to do to knock someone out who's a powerful zealot? Or is this really true for what it is? You gotta call a spade here. This looks like degeneracy, and she is definitely not a Christian. She clearly wants power here, and that's fairly obvious. Also, as well, we have to call out Joy Villa trying to get donations for running a campaign, and it is fraud. She's not filed with the FEC, so these donations that she's getting currently are illegal and undocumented, and these donations that she's getting are probably going to go in her pocket because the address or where the money's going to is the Church of Scientology for Celebrities in Los Angeles. So odds are this is a ruse and another way to get money out of boomers, and it is a scam. So she's scamming us and trying to get rid of Corey Lewandowski, and she's scamming the boomers by trying to take donations that are illegal. Why would she run after taking illegal donations that violate the FEC? There's no way she's going to do it. She is a fraud. Now let's read those tweets that she put out back in the day that she forgot to delete. September 5th, 2017. A couple months ago, she decides to say, "I'm so proud to announce I'm officially a member of the advisory board for President Trump's campaign." Is this her really supporting Trump's campaign? Or, if you look at her previous tweets and past history, is she jumping on a trend on behalf of Scientology? That is something here that a lot of us should really look at. So, on November 8th, Joy Villa decides to say, quote, "If you don't like the two crazy candidates running, write in or vote for the other three on the ballot. Don't dismiss. Who are those two crazy candidates? Oh, that's right, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump." She called Donald Trump crazy. What makes this even more worse, though, is she had the opportunity to retweet Donald Trump on November 8th to go out and vote, but instead she retweets Barack Obama, and she also retweets a leftist congresswoman instead of the current president that she allegedly supports. Then she goes on to say, back then on the 23rd of August of 2016, Will Wheaton, yes, Trump supporters really are that stupid.
Huh. And when did she put that dress on?
After he was elected. I believe it was after. It was not during the campaign.
Yeah, it was after. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't. Yeah, this was she was another one to basically jump right on the Trump train as soon as it fucking pulled out of the winner's station. She's not somebody who in 2016 during the summer like us were like, because Royce was a pro-Trump. I was probably super pro-Trump guy from the beginning because I just wanted to blow the system up.
Yeah, that's true.
But Royce was definitely much kinder to Trump than I think he was Hillary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I don't think you guys...
I wasn't even really mean to Trump. I wasn't, I was like, whatever. But I was...
You weren't retweeting Obama and black congresswomen.
Are you fucking nuts?
You know
that would never happen. Get out. The fuck out of here.
So you were, you know what I mean? It was... But yeah, so these...
you know what I was doing? Probably retweeting Ron Paul at that time.
Oh, yeah. You just wait. I'm going to keep a fucking list of all the little things that I fucking pulled for that actually turned out to be true and good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Trump was one of those things that was not It was a miracle. But then right afterwards, people like Joy Villa came out of the woodwork, and all these other people came out. Fucking Ben Shapiro's another one. He tried to fucking bury Trump every goddamn day. He did everything except, and I love Ben Shapiro, but, you know, I'm going to criticize him when it's time. He pretty much all but endorsed Hillary Clinton by the time the Biden election came around. So fuck Ben Shapiro too. A lot of other people that were like, oh, but now they're like, Trump's the greatest, and the tax cuts are the greatest. Oh, Trump train. Weep, weep. And you're like, fuck you people, man. And they're all trying to make this fucking money, which is Frank's point. That you're all these boomers, man, these fucking retarded boomers. And it's like, yeah, you know, we could probably pray at the beginning of our show and be full of shit and try to get some of that boomer money. But we have too much respect. And then, to be honest with you, we would end up with a really gross fan base that we didn't like. Like, we like our fan base. The people that watch our show and then decide, all right, I'm going to stick around with whatever fucking weird community this is. They, you know, they're genuinely funny, cool people. So we even have
and there's
some
tiers,
boomers.
by the way. I've noticed there's tiers. There's the Facebook fans, which are, you know, normies that are starting to get red pilled. Then there's Twitter fans, which leaning a little more to the right. But if you get into our Discord,
well, Discord's
that's
not even our. Just anything that goes to Discord gets weird because
Yeah.
everybody's like, I can say what I want. Nobody's kicking me out. All right, so check it out.
Oh yeah, I have seen some things that we cannot share.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, and honestly, Facebook's where the boomers watch.
Yeah.
We do get boomers that watch. We don't hate all boomers. Like, the boomers that watch our show know that, you know, these people are full of shit. That's why they watch our show. But this mass amount of boomers, like the one, dude, you know what I saw that was peak boomer? I couldn't even get a phone. I couldn't find my phone the other night. I wanted to take a picture, but in New York, on basic cable, there is a commercial for the Ultimate Bible. I don't know if you can find it on YouTube, but it is.
Oh, is that the e-Bible?
It is. Check this out.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
When you talk about getting money out of boomers. You know what I mean? And this is why we'll never get money out of boomers on this show, because we're the guys that tell you life hacks and how to get movies for free. And we just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to try to make money off every little thing. It's called the Ultimate. Oh, here it is. Is this it? God, boomers love giving their money away.
Wait, no,
that's not it.
Hold on, I'll find it.
No, it's a little electronic box now that has the entire Bible programmed into it.
I got it. I'll find it.
And it's $39.99.
Oh my God. I found it.
Is this it?
Yep.
Now, I think we all know that that's kind
No,
of
no.
Isn't
Pause.
the Bible supposed to be that
No,
thick?
it's,
but I
dude,
would just like to tell it.
this is way more high tech. This is a fucking iPad looking one. When I tell you that this thing looked like a plastic box that was old school, it looked like an old answering machine for a house. That's how old the tech was. And it was a button you pushed, and it would play Bible verses. The Ultimate Bible. It was $39.99. I don't even mean to get off on yet another tangent.
Okay.
But boomers are the worst. Like, they'll give their money away to these useless things. I was like, wait a minute, you could just get an app on your phone. There's the Bible on it. You could probably get a fancy Bible app. There's enough Christians and Catholics in the world that I'm sure somebody's designed an app that has fucking the Bible all in it and can probably help you with stuff that fits the day or your mood or whatever. This thing was just a box. You pushed a button. And it was for old, yeah, it was nuts, dude. And I was like, this is the people. And I remember sitting on the couch that night, and I had a Jameson, and I'm sitting there drinking, and I looked at the fucking Ultimate Bible for $39.99, and I was like, the people that buy this are the same people that buy Kyle Chapman T-shirts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That send money to, like, Patriot Prayer so they can go drink beers with their buds at the bar, and they think that they're... and then there's like Peter Popoff and his fucking dumb healing water, and like, you're just like, God damn, boomers, man, just fucking.
We have to go to break because we have a guest. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
That's
yeah, my bad.
I realized we ran late. We probably talked a lot because we've been off for a while. But real quick, we're going to show patreon.com/we're not sorry. Like we said earlier, the show, we're being throttled hardcore. So any help helps us out there. Share our videos on Facebook, on Twitter. Tell everyone if you know to follow. Who's coming up after the break, Mike?
Dave Goss from Connecting Right Radio. and we'll be back after the break.
Good job.
Orlando,
Good save.
Florida, a city known for its theme parks and resorts. But peace is threatened as a wave of crime has turned this once beautiful vacation destination into a haven for gangs, thugs, and terrorists.
I need backup! Home nightclub! Shots fired! Shots fired!
When an LGBT hotspot is shot up and dozens are killed, two detectives may be this city's only hope to unravel a conspiracy of corruption that goes all the way to the nation's most powerful elite.
This is Grizzly.
Hey, Lopez. Look. It's called Pulse Nightclub. Hey, I bet you
Don't. Seriously, dude, just don't. Not now.
When the city finds itself gripped with fear and under attack, Mersch and Lopez keep a cool head as they attempt to unravel the mystery.
I believe these men were targeted simply because they were homosexual. This is a hate crime.
Gross.
It is gross, partner. Targeting people out of hate like that?
No, I meant the gay stuff. It's pretty gross.
These two no-nonsense cops are about to find themselves dragged into a world of political intrigue and international terrorism, and they may be the only hope to save the world.
I got a morgue full of dead bodies with neon mesh tank tops, a dead suspect, and no motive. The mayor is on my ass.
There's more to this case than we're seeing, LT. I think it's terrorism.
I agree with Lopez, Chief. It's definitely terrorism. We're dealing with a bigger fish here.
As they uncover clues with their incomparable police cop work, Mersch and Lopez get closer to the real masterminds.
Seems like Mateen's phone had some kind of encryption software. It bricked itself.
Damn. So we're screwed, huh?
Well, I managed to get one file off the phone. GPS coordinates that lead to Washington, D.C.
Comet Ping Pong Pizza. Never heard of it.
Feel like grabbing a slice, partner?
Yeah, a slice
of justice. Yeah, I know. You say it every time.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Yeah, cool. Can leaving now be our thing? Because it's a long drive to D.C.
Coming up next week, Orlando's best detectives are still trying to get to the truth behind the deadliest attack in their city's history. Mersch and Lopez follow a lead that takes them all the way to the nation's capital. But will their case be derailed as they discover a child sex trafficking ring inside of a pizza place? Find out next week on an all-new Revenge of the Sis. Mondays at 4, followed by an all-new Nazi lawyer. Only on USA Network. USA, what are you gonna do? Watch TBS?
Hey guys, it's Mersch and Royce here, and we would like to take a moment to shill like the unprincipled whores that we are. Thank you all for making Revenge of the Sis one of the fastest growing podcasts out there. Having such outspoken, passionate fans spreading the word about our show makes the work that we do that much more rewarding.
You can help us continue growing by doing the following things. Become a direct contributor by going to patreon.com/we're-not-sorry. You can choose a one-time donation or recurring one. Every penny helps. It helps us produce quality programming we bring you every week. Also, please subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, and make sure you leave a review on iTunes. All three of these things are extremely important and help us in the court of public perception. And most importantly, tell a friend about Revenge of the Sis. Sure, you probably can't tell your normie boss or your significant other's blue-pilled mom, but everyone knows a person who would like our show. Tell that person about us and help us make a new fan. Seriously, don't be a dick, get us some clicks.
And please follow our wonderful friends at Facebook, the Mad American Network, the Unapologetic Canadian, Social Justice Warriors, and you can always find us hanging out in the Space Right group on Facebook. Once again, from the bottom of our cold black hearts, thank you for supporting us and making this such an amazing experience.
In a world where our very way of life seems to be under attack from all sides, and our freedoms are slowly being ripped away, Guns for Tards is fighting the good fight to help protect America from its enemies by advocating Second Amendment rights for our nation's most vulnerable and often overlooked citizens, the mentally challenged. Our founding fathers believed that a well-armed, trained, and educated citizenry was the key to a free and prosperous society. But Meatloaf also said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We believe that Tards are our second to last line of defense against ISIS, and we at Guns for Tards aim to provide the means and the programs to give proper training and resources to tards in your area, helping to make the country a safer place. There are over 40 million mentally challenged Americans living today, and by 2020, we plan to arm at least 10% of them. We want to get as many guns in the hands of as many tards as we can, but we won't be able to do it without your help. So please, pledge your help today. Arm a tard. It's not that hard. Go to www.gunsfortards.com for more information, or follow us on Facebook or Twitter by searching for Guns for Tards.
Gunsfortards.com. Gunsfortards.com. Extra rounds for folks with downs, helping to protect your town. Gunsfortards.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster. A new night, a new time. The Sully Show returns to More Like Radio, Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern before Dutch and Royce. Tuesday nights will never be the same.
I love you for all that you are. In spite of the fact that your people control a disproportionate amount of the world's wealth, and in all likelihood are probably responsible for starting every major war since the dawn of time. Dude, again with this? What's your problem?
Who's in the bush? Mind your own business, you stupid Jew!
Second hour, Revenge of the Sis. Thanks for staying with us, guys. We really appreciate it.
First show back before our last show back.
Yes, we will. I will be going. Mike went up to New York. I will be going on a cruise for 7 days, starting the 31st. I'll be back the 6th.
Yeah, but we're starting to figure out that, the two-faced Facebook thing.
Yeah.
So we'll give you guys a couple of those. And
yeah, we're doing those. So I'd recommend you follow our Facebook, facebook.com/We're Not Sorry.
Yeah, because we'll do it. Probably it's the easiest. They've got it. Honestly, I hate to give Facebook credit ever.
Yeah.
But they have a good system for that. It was very easy to just do it from the account and then have like Royce go in, and then it was
pretty cool. So it was
pretty easy too.
Then you hopped off, and then Jacob Rubino hopped on as a bud. It was fun. We were just bullshitting. It was fun.
Well, we have a guest. If you want to introduce him,
we do have a guest coming on right now for a second hour, and I've been wanting to get him on for a while. We're going to get him on again at the beginning of the year because I wanted to have him and Sean both on. But he's a very, very close friend of the show from day one. And he's the host of Connecting Right Radio on KHTS Radio in Santa Clarita, California. Our pal Dave Goss is with us.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What up, dog? How's my favorite alt-right 3% domestic terrorist doing?
Dude, that piece that you guys did yesterday was freaking awesome. I'm allowed to cuss and shit, right?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, just fucking making sure. I'm allowed to drink too?
Yes, you can. Go for it.
I do it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would be usually in the second hours when I start drinking, but I took a half a Xanax bar and I had some JMO yesterday and stuff, and when I'm just kind of good right now. I'm still mellow from that.
Right. Well, appreciate you guys having me on. The story that you did yesterday is you guys hit the nail on the head with Cafario. That guy's a total douchebag. This guy has been trying to. He's all we said on our show was we said that one Democratic candidate was better than another. Like that's it. And we pointed out that he's one of those, oh, I'm for the small guy, I'm for the little guy, I'm going to protect all the small people in Santa Clarita, our little valley that we live in here in California. And but yeah, when he was a trial lawyer, when he was a lawyer, he says he was some sort of human rights lawyer or something. He wasn't. I mean, what human rights lawyer defends Union Oil against 46 residents in Montana that had petroleum seep into the ground around them that got them all fucked up and sick.
Oof.
So this guy's just a douchebag.
Now, did you? Now I want to know, because this is just I love watching stuff like this play out. Is this a guy that you dug into this deeply before you started talking shit, or was this one of those things where he was talking shit about you and you were like, let me look into this guy then? Like, when did you find out about this oil? Or did you know this when you were going to have him on?
Well, what happened was we had the other candidate, the one that we said was better. Her name was Katie Hill. We had her on our show, and then we invited him on our show also, because we wanted to do. There's 3 out of like the however many freaking candidates are trying to run for the primary. There's 3 main ones. There's Katie Hill, Brian Capario, and then this other girl named Jess Phoenix, which is like a totally badass name. She's a volcanologist, which I didn't even know that fucking existed.
That's pretty awesome.
But she has no fucking chance of winning. But we wanted to have all 3 of them on our show and then do a debate with them. So we initially talked to Brian's campaign manager, and she said, yeah. She said, well, Brian's real busy through the holiday. We'll have him come on in January. We're like, cool. And then a couple weeks later, I start hearing through the grapevine that they're going to plan on attacking Katie for coming on our show because Sean called Kamala Harris a cunt on our podcast. Like we had a podcast, The Triggering, that you guys talked about a little bit yesterday. And so as soon as they found out that we called Kamala Harris a cunt, they tried to take that to every news outlet there was out there. And the news outlet was like, who the fuck are these guys? And why the fuck do we care what they said? And they called up fucking Kamala Harris's office and told her. And
ew.
They were like, well, she's been called a whole lot worse than that, guys. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. So we knew that this was coming. And so then we blasted him on the show saying, and said, hey, Brian, as opposed to trying to like reach the other side of the aisle, try to like get on a conservative show and try to figure out, try to get a base on the right, for the primaries. He decided that he was gonna rally the far left idiots and just get Katie and start attacking Katie Hill for being on our show, and by using the I'm a 3%er and that Sean had used the word cunt on a podcast, which we don't even do anymore. So that didn't, and then so you saw the opinion piece. They put that out the day, 2 days after Sean's last show. So a week after Sean's last show, because Sean's leaving the show to go to start a woodworking business. But so they decided that they were going to put this out when they knew that we were taking 2 weeks off of our show for Christmas, because we do Sunday nights, so it's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. We weren't going to do shows then, and they decided to put it out then after Sean's off the show and attack him, and then totally misrepresent him, also misrepresent 3%ers, misrepresent everything. And of course, there's the 2 or 3 people that are like just a bleeding heart out here that are totally backing Cafario, and they're sitting there saying that because Sean said that we hate all women, we degrade all women. Like, fuck no, we degraded one woman because she fucking deserved it, because she fucking sucks. But we have a lot of respect for women in general. So and then so we totally kicked his ass when we did the whole domestic violence center fundraising thing, and they lost their shit. They're sitting there saying it's disingenuous. It's not that we didn't really care, that we were just doing this because of that, and or because we had used the word cunt, and we're like, no, we're actually trying to help out the community, which we've done on multiple other occasions too.
Yeah, I've actually seen you guys. I've actually shared certain things that they've shared before, but it's like I said during our segment yesterday. There's a lot of people over on your side of the country wearing that hat that are just running around like assholes with sticks and hitting people and just being dicks, and they're basically living off Patreon donations to go out and fight people and be dicks. Mm-hmm. And you were one of the only guys, like group of guys, like your whole crew, where every time I saw you sharing something, it was like, hey, this family's house burned down the day they found out they had cancer. Like, we're raising some money for him. It's the only time I ever really hear out of Dave and Sean was like, hey, this thing happened. Like, it's never, so it just kind of made me laugh when I saw that they were trying to act as if you guys are full of shit. It's like, well, every time I see them doing stuff, they're trying, some baby, like fucking, something happens and they're like, hey, we're doing this thing. So it's just, I don't know. It's, they're kind of full of shit. And I mean, does this Katie chick win by default now? Because she's the only one with the balls to come on and a conservative show and actually be challenged on her points.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as Brian put that hit piece out on us, the very first the op-ed that he put out, we shared it all over the place. We're like, look at this and at this garbage that they're writing, and it got a bunch of conservatives to go and and start donating to Katie and get them. They're going to get off their asses in June and actually go vote and try to make sure that Brian does not win the primary. So he was in 2016. He ran against our Steve Knight, who's our current congressman, and lost. And so now he's trying to make another run. And at this point, he shot himself in the foot where he's not even going to make the primaries now. So he's done. I don't even know why he's still in Santa Clarita.
Is your current congressman a Republican or a Democrat?
Republican. We're a red area. Everything here is Republican. We elected one of our first. We have a couple Democrats on school boards, and that's about it. And one of them is actually came under fire because some messages got leaked of her calling, saying that one of our residents out here is only nice to her because he wants her to suck his dick. Another one, she said she called a woman a cunt. And so they're all up in arms and all fucking pissed off that Sean used the word cunt. But when she uses it, who's a Democratic elected official, it's totally fine. And so that's it. But our assemblymen, our congressmen, our city council, we're a small little Republican area in LA County, which is really fucking weird. But we're trying to keep it there.
It is. Jesus,
that's really
that sounds amazing.
And how much have you raised so far on for the domestic abuse? What number are you at right now?
I believe we were at 1775. Brian had accused us of perpetuating hate on our radio show, which we had never done. So I said I'll give $1,000 to anybody that can find hate on our show, and no one found it. So instead, I donated the $1,000 to the Domestic Violence Center.
Now, where can people donate to that? Because I want our listeners to also help out if they can.
I'll put the link in the chat in a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
But if you just search Domestic Violence Center of Santa Clarita, you can find us. You can find it there. And then also if you do that, if you spend $15, we'll send you a signed article or a signed copy of the paper that we were on the front page of. If you donate $25, we'll send you a framed signed copy. $50, Sean will make you a beard comb. Nice. Also. And $100, and you get a custom made cutting board. Also, Sean's trying to get his woodworking out there, so we're helping out and trying to raise money for them, and it's been awesome so far. I think someone just put in, so we're at 1825 now.
Nice. Can I say that you guys are way better than Mike and I? You handled that way better than we would have handled it.
Oh yeah, there would have been some fucking. We would have ruined both of our lives.
Yeah, probably
to get him.
One of us would be sitting in a jail cell right now.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be congressman either. It would all work out for everybody.
Good point. That's a good point.
Everyone's lives would be ruined. Yeah. But no, kudos for you guys for that. And I totally forgot what I was going to say.
What do you think of Joy Villo? Do you have any opinion on that?
That thing pisses me off. I know when I first saw her in that dress, I was like, this doesn't seem right. So I wasn't a huge, right off the bat, oh my God, this chick's fucking amazing or anything like that. And I saw, we have Omar Navarro out here who's running against Maxine Waters. And she showed up to some of his events, and so I was like, all right, this woman's starting to get around and try to do her thing out here. Maybe she is for real. And then as soon as I saw that she went after Lewandowski and hired Gloria Allred to be her attorney, then I was like, nope, you're done. Get out of here. Yep. You're a fake ass bitch.
Yeah, that was. I don't know, man. We're still hunting for the perfect hot black chick on the right. It just seems like every time.
Hey, Stacey Dash is fun. What's wrong with Stacey?
Oh no, hey, you're right. But I mean, she's kind of more of a crazy like boomer right wing. We need like a young hip one. Stacey
Yeah.
Dash has gone like full Michelle Malkin. Like she's retarded now.
That's a good point.
We need like a cool hip young like. We don't have one. Every time we do, it turns out to be like a leftist infiltrator or whatever.
Red
but
pill
check
black?
this out. I know that Dave and Sean spinned a negative into a positive, but I'm going to be the king of spin here.
Yeah.
I'm going to help Brian Caporio out. If you're listening, buddy, hire me for your campaign. You and I are going to work together. We're going to spin this. Check it out. They raised a bunch of money for domestic abuse survivors. So they're still perpetuating hate and bigotry against men who abuse women.
That's still hate.
Call
You
me.
guys are terrible.
Call me, Paul. We'll work together. I'll get you. I'll make
Yeah,
him
and
the pro-domestic violence candidate.
And he refused to donate or do anything involving them when we were doing it. So he's so butthurt about what we did that he doesn't even want to help out domestic violence victims.
We are
so this guy
dubbing-
is just a fucking piece of work.
We're gonna dub call Paul Caforio. Who's a Caporio? Is it an F or
Brian Cafario, Cafario.
You're like Jennifer Garner. You mean nothing to me. Brian Cafario. We're saying it here, folks. Brian Cafario of Santa Clarita County is the pro-domestic violence candidate. I'm saying that. Mersh. You are pro-domestic violence, sir, and I dare you to challenge me on that issue.
I love it. And he'll come up. He noted that he was a feminist. And that was his whole reason for getting upset that we called Kamala Harris a cunt.
Well, that's a good strategy because nobody finds male feminists creepy.
Right.
So that's a good
Except every woman I've ever met ever in my life, ever.
I mean, it's been how many hundreds of years has this country existed? And if you still run on misogyny, you win. Running on feminism's a weak stance. If you're a dude and you're like, yeah, whatever, I make money and I grab bitches. What
Look
do you
how
want?
well Jill Stein did. She turned out to be a Russian operative. I mean, allegedly. We don't know for sure.
Whatever. I'm still using her healing crystals.
How are those working for you? They're not suppositories. I keep telling you to stop.
I don't know, man. I stopped going to the oncologist. Everything's good. I'm fine now. Everything's good.
You've lost a dramatic amount of weight, Mike.
I know because I've been working out so
Oh,
much
really?
because of the crystals.
You've been sleeping 15 hours a day, Mike.
Yeah. So, but I was just about to say something. I totally lost my train of thought. It must be the alcohol.
Yeah, it's a bit early, bud. I mean, even for me.
It's 2:30 over here, and
that's a good one.
but this is my Saturday. I run my own business. I actually started an online dating site last year called TrumpSingles.com.
Is that? I wanted to ask you about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how I literally when we were one of the first things I ever noticed on his profile when we became like Facebook buddies, and I was like Trump Singles, and I honestly thought you were fucking with people.
Nope. We started that shit. I've been on Fox News, Fox Business, ABC, CBS. I've been I've had interviews in Time Magazine. I've had pieces written about me in Ukraine, Russia, Italy. I've been on a morning show in fucking Australia. All because of this. This shit was huge. Like, people love this shit. We're actually in the middle of revamping the entire website because the website's actually kind of a piece of shit. But we're in the middle of completely redoing it right now. And then we're also launching another business called Political Pranks, which we're launching on the 1st, where you can like send like let's say you know a fucking snowflake that like it's like a cousin or something like that, so you can't say shit to their face, but you can anonymously send them a card that has like a mountain that has like snow on it, and it says there sure are a lot of snowflakes out there, and you open it up, it says thanks for being an exceptionally awful one, and then we have a bunch of fucking snowflake confetti that comes out and gets all over the place and pisses them off. So
it's sort of even in the vein of like I've done Guns for Tards before, and that's actually a real thing. I love it. I love shit like that.
Yeah, and we have different shirts that you can get. Also, it's gonna be like we have one that has an ISIS dude fucking a goat with a circle around it and a line through it. It says "Goat Lives Matter," you know, shit like that. So we're gonna have some pretty fun stuff up there. But I'm done plugging my shit. Let's get back to talking about some real shit that actually matters.
Well, okay. How about this one for you? Speaking of male feminist, you heard what happened to Senk?
Oh yeah. 10 years ago, he said some shit, and now all of a sudden he got kicked out of the Democratic Justice League or whatever.
Meanwhile, at the Democratic Justice League.
No, that's not what it's called.
It's the Democrat Justice Society or something.
The Democratic
I believe.
Justice
Yeah,
League.
dude.
I was just picturing in my head, and I'm like, oh god, it's so
It has
weird.
SJW Superman. It has hipster Batman. It's awesome.
Do they ever get anything done?
No, they don't.
Okay.
They argue a lot.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
They scream at robots and scream at the sky.
And I'm sure you'll agree, Dave. It is getting to a point where it is kind of ridiculous that we're kind of treating successful men now like Confederate statues. We're just finding any excuse whatsoever to tear them down and replace them. But and that's fine, whatever. I'm against that. However, isn't it just a little bit delicious? When it happens to a guy who has made his entire bed in the edge. Because like right winger guys kind of recover a little better because they're like, well, yeah, I like bitches and I like going out and being a man about town and spending $3,000 on a jacket.
I want to be Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, but on the left, everybody has this like ridiculous ideal, and when you join in like a Jamie Kilstein or a Senk Younger, and you're like, we need to protect women and blah blah blah, and it turns out you may have written some Mike Cernovich-esque things back in the day. It's kind of awesome, doesn't it?
Here's what they're catching him for. June 28th, 2013, he tweeted, "The improbable breasts in Miami are only matched by the improbable butts. This place makes LA look real." Then he wrote,
"What's wrong with that?
I know. Just when I think Miami is all done, it puts me back in. The women in this island are outrageously and almost unacceptably hot. # Miami." And then this is his excuse. He says, back then I was still a conservative. I swear to God.
What? So it was politics.
Politics made him say.
Wait, so what you're saying actually makes sense because back when he was a conservative, he wrote the only tweet he's ever written that I actually agree with. And actually, for a minute, thought he was kind of cool. The thing he's in trouble for is the only thing I've ever heard out of Senk Younger that I'm like, yeah, you got a point, bud.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, does he eat a bunch of tofu and a bunch of soy and get turned into a soy boy and become Democratic? Is that what happened?
No.
And then now all of a sudden he respects women?
No, this faggot eats a lot. Trust me, he's not eating soy. This fucker.
What he basically
eats.
What he basically said was, I used to be a conservative, but now I'm a lefty, so I hide my true fucking thoughts and feelings whenever I have them on Twitter.
Like, for example, he's an Armenian genocide denier, but that's cool. Monetized. Monetized.
Yeah, and they were one of the two people did a piece on me that was a negative, and of course it was Newsweek, which is a shitstorm of fucking hateful bullshit, and then the Young Turks, literally, like I had out of all these publications across the world that did articles on me when I first started Trump Singles, those are the only two negatives that I got was fucking Newsweek and fucking the Young Turks.
That's beautiful though. That's shit. They can shit on me anytime.
Yeah, I heard you're on the SPLC. We strive to be on there. That's like
no, I believe they were referencing the 3%ers are on the SPLC, right?
Well, you should try to get
3%ers, so I'm
you're in it.
On the list now.
Yeah, you're on the list now.
I know you're like
once you're in, SA.
I've met a lot of those.
I have to get jumped out now if I want to leave.
I know, right?
I've met several of those people.
Yeah.
And are they eccentric? Yeah. You know what I mean? Are they not your average, like fucking, they're definitely not like your buddy Kurt that works in an office with you. They're odd guys. But like, I've never seen any kind of real overt like racism or like any kind of like crazy shit where they're like, yeah, we're white national. Like 3%ers are just guys that are like, hey, remember when there used to be a militia? Well, not a lot of people want to do that anymore. So I guess we'll serve as some kind of militia. Like that's basically all it is.
It's a half-assed one that we don't even call ourselves a militia. It's we're defenders of the Constitution. That's what 3%ers stand for. 3%ers and Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers are mainly made up of police officers and military people that actually took the actual oath. And if you look at the ADL, the whatever defamation league that they want to call themselves, it's their whole thing about extremism with the 3%ers and Oath Keepers. It's all about Oath Keepers. And then there's one little blurb about how 3%ers are defunct. They started in 2008 and they're defunct. It's like, did you even do your fucking research? The 3%ers have been around since the 1800s. Like, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And this is what Brian Cafario is trying to use to attack me.
Well, you also left out one group of defenders of the Constitution and liberty, too. The real heroes of the United States, the Proud Boys.
Oh.
We all know that those guys are carrying the weight of liberty on their shoulders, collectively ruining their Fred Perry polo shirts.
I'm going to apologize to any fans that are Proud Boys. You motherfuckers are cringy as
They're
fuck.
the worst human beings.
I mean, jumping in breakfast cereals. And Gavin, dude, you used to be cool. Now you're just sticking dildos up your ass. Like, what's going on, bro? What's happening? This used to be a thing.
I was disappointed when Gavin went that way.
Yeah, really weird.
Well, Gavin went like full neo-Nazi and then went like full SJW within a week. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And then he was like, "I was just trolling," and then you're like, "No, you weren't. you just fucking."
And now he's on CRTV with Michelle Malkin,
who is, by the way, my okay, look, I just figured this out recently, and it was accidentally. But a guy who works for Michelle Malkin led me to Michelle Malkin, and I was looking at her Twitter. She believes that, remember that Oklahoma police officer that was convicted of raping like multiple women like on traffic stops? He was a fucking prolific rapist, maybe racist too, because he mostly raped like black women. He would.
Wouldn't that make him not racist?
Look, if you want to get into, that's a whole different conversation. We'd have to.
I'm going to put that one on the back burner.
We're going to put that on.
I'm putting that on the back burner.
It's on the short list.
It's on the short list. Go ahead.
But no, so this lady believes that the cop in that case is innocent, and she has like every once in a while you'll see #free whatever that guy's name is. It was a white cop that was just raping people in Oklahoma. It was like 14 women, and they convicted him and put him in prison for life. And it wasn't one of these like. Did he do it or didn't he do it? It was like, yeah, dude, just this guy's a bad dude. and Michelle Malkin and her boomer fucking crew are all like, free, what's his face? And I'm like,
Danielle Holtzclaw, the ex-Oklahoma officer convicted of rape and other charges, and he preyed on African-American women over 6 months, was sentenced to 263 years in prison.
Yeah, and Michelle Malkin and Michelle Malkin's all about freeing that guy. And then you got Gavin, and you got Crowder, and you got Mark Levin. Like, how does that even? How many mugs could they be moving?
Well, you get a free one when you sign up. You get a free Gavin one apparently.
No. But, you don't get a free one. You get an $80 mug. No, I'm sorry, you don't get a free mug. You get a $60 mug and $20 of 1 year of radio. Let's be fair.
We've been working on making Viking horns. We're gonna have Viking horn, like the ones that you could drink out of, and because everyone's doing mugs, nobody's doing. Mike gets mad because you can't put them on a table. I say, Viking horns for everybody.
And paganism's making a big comeback. I feel like we're gonna capitalize on that a little bit.
That's right.
Drink out of the skulls of your enemies. You should have to make one of those too. Stuff like that.
Oh, I like those.
So you got now Sean's out. You got a new guy, Matt, coming in, right?
Yes, I got Matt. Matt's a great dude. He currently was able to go back to school. He's a Marine vet and a former sheriff out here, and he's using his GI Bill to go back to school for journalism. So it's actually going to help me out a lot, because that means I don't got to do as much research anymore. I can just put it on him, like, here, cut your teeth on this. But
get out there, kid. Give me a scoop.
But he's a great dude. He's when he was in the Marines, he was a firearms instructor. So whenever I feel that any of my guns or the sights are up or whatever, I just hand it to him, and he's like, do in 2 seconds, and all of a sudden I'm hitting people at like 700 yards. But that's 3%er stuff right there. So don't worry about that. But he's a great guy. Really looking forward to having him on the show. He's already stepped up, started doing stuff. As far as like our page goes, and then he's always been a big supporter. We've had him on the show a couple times. Oh, we had a great show one time. We had him on, who obviously he's super pro Second Amendment, and we had a liberal on who I actually really like this guy. He does a podcast out here, and we're actually going to be recording a podcast with him on the 2nd. So that's going to be coming out within the next couple of weeks. But he's super liberal dude. And he actually is from Kentucky, used to own guns, and now wants to abolish the Second Amendment. So having Matt, who's super Second Amendment pro, and then this guy on, I didn't have to say a freaking word during that show. I didn't have to say a goddamn word. It was just those two going at it the entire time. And Matt, like, Steven didn't show up. He did not show up prepared, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would have been even a little bit better. But Matt was just throwing fact after fact after fact at him. And Steven, it got to the point where I kind of felt bad because, like I said, I do like Steven, but he got a little emotional at the end. he had to hold back some words that we're not allowed to say. We're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want on your show. On my show, since we're on the radio, we're on the air, we actually have the FCC watching us, so we have to be very careful what we do. So it was, but you can tell that Steven was ready to almost break those rules just to get at Matt.
Isn't that the greatest though? Like we do that too. It's always great. We figured out the formula. We could do our stuff the first hour, second hour, get somebody on that could talk. It makes your job so much easier.
Yeah, and like Dave said, if you can get two people to fight,
oh yeah,
like we did.
Oh,
with,
that's golden.
Yeah, like we had LAWerewolf and Nick Abbott on.
LAWerewolf, the people who your video you saw earlier, and they went at it for an hour, and it was the easiest hour of my life. I went downstairs and got
Isn't Nick
cookie.
Abbott the dude that was rolling around with the Trojan cuck?
Yes,
guy?
I do believe so. Yes, and he was he's like he's I don't know what he is, because I mean I made fun of him on the show, and he changed his Twitter bio unironically to the thing I called him.
It's really odd. We don't know.
So
what
I don't
that's
get him.
about.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times at rallies that we've gone to, because us as 3%ers, we show up to these rallies and these protests and these marches that they do as a barrier between the two sides, just to make sure that everybody's free speech is not being trampled on. Even if it's stuff that we don't like hearing from the left, it's free speech. We still want to protect that. So we do that, and we've shown up at a couple, and it's fucking Trojan cuck and his daughter, wife, sister thing, whatever that is, that hangs out with him, and Nick Abbott. They just make circles with this little wagon with a speaker in it, playing just some whatever music they want to play, and just shouting like they're fucking crazy people. Like you see, it's if anybody saw that in LA, in downtown LA, where we've been a few times, they're just gonna think, oh, he's just another crazy homeless guy. Like they're not even gonna pay any attention to what he's actually saying.
It's really there's some odd people. I don't why are like the 8 people that I like from California, why do you guys stay there?
Well, we're actually looking at moving to Texas sooner than later. And by the way, also, we're going to be going. Me and my wife are going to be making a trip to Florida in March, and so we might have to stop by and say hi.
You absolutely should. Maybe come in studio. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah.
Definitely want to link up in person. Dave is one of the better people I know around in this radio stuff. And it sucks to see you and Sean splitting up, though. Like, I'm looking, I'll give Matt a shot. I like the whole ex-Marine, ex-cop thing, so that's cool. But I did like Sean. Sean was a cool dude.
Oh, he was great, and it was awesome with him because he was a little more moderate than I am, and Matt's a little more further right than I am. So it's gonna be real interesting to see which direction the show goes now that we're losing that more center guy and we're getting the more right guy in here. Right. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be, he has a lot of connections out there. We're helping a guy run for sheriff out here because basically police are scared to do their jobs out here in California because of all the shit that's going on, and especially in LA County, and which is now a sanctuary, or LA City is a sanctuary city. LA County is kind of controlled in that sanctuary way. Also, it's very hard for the police officers to be able to do their jobs and do their jobs correctly and make sure that they're staying safe. And that's one of the hardest things is that sometimes they won't even approach situations out here in any area of LA County because they're afraid that they're going to all of a sudden be called for some bullshit, and then they're going to be brought in. And with the way that Jim McDonald's doing things is that they side with the quote unquote victim every single time, and it takes forever to get these good cops back out on the street. So, and where they can be doing their job. So there's like 40-year-old trainees that are showing up and shit. That's what we're doing. That's our police force right now. That's what we're dealing with out there. Is we have these like there's a heavily obese 40-year-old woman that my best friend he's a training officer sometimes, and he had to train this woman. And he's like my life's in danger with her. Like she's not going to be able to chase anybody down. Like it's bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds like a sequel to Beverly Hills Ninja with Melissa McCarthy. Yeah, but at least there isn't immigrants out there shooting people's daughters under boardwalks or anything, right? That's not happening.
Oh no, not at all. There's not ISIS sympathizers that are trying to blow up piers, or we're not pardoning illegal aliens either. That's Jerry Brown's not doing that at all here for
I
us.
saw that too, and it's
That's
like
crazy.
I don't. That's what I mean. I don't understand.
Like, at what point do you just become Detroit with nicer beaches?
We're already there, bro. The only thing is that there's a lot of money for the upkeep. There's a lot of money to make it look nice. You don't want to apply that. They don't apply it to roads and dams that hold millions of gallons of water that are right above cities that almost break, and they have to evacuate a city of 180,000. You know, that's not that big of a deal for our Democrats. But right now, it's gonna be real interesting. You got to keep an eye on what's going on in California here, and especially in Sacramento, because a lot of Democratic elected officials are coming under a lot of heat for sexual assault right now. So there may be this huge mass exodus of people all of a sudden Al Franken resigning, and we may actually have a chance of trying to do something, but I doubt it. You know, that's why I said me and my wife are already planning on trying to move out, trying to get over to Texas or up into Idaho where it's freezing fucking cold in the winter, or just somewhere that's not California. And also, like, this tax reform thing. Let's talk about that real quick.
Sure.
So everybody that's pissed off about the tax reform thing, they live in California or they live in New York.
Yep.
Where we're getting taxed out of our fucking asses. We are in California. We have the highest property tax. We have the highest gas tax. We have the highest sales tax. You know, we have all the highest taxes out here. And once these and now that there's certain things that you're not going to be able to write off because we get so heavy, but because we're so heavily taxed on them, it actually really affects us. So, but instead of these people saying, hey, maybe we should look at our tax system here and change it so that it conforms with what the tax reform is going to be, so that it doesn't hurt our residents, they're blaming Trump. You know, 2 states are saying that tax reform is awful and we should change it when it benefits 48 other fucking states. And that's how fucking idiotic liberals are.
Yeah. And it's like it's like you said, it's people that live in LA or New York. Nobody's even saying that you have to not, you have to give up your career in that city or whatever. You could live just like 90 minutes outside of any of those cities, and this tax bill would hit you a little bit less. And it's like people don't even, no, I want to live in a penthouse on 5th Avenue. God damn it, Trump took, that's the most brilliant way I've heard it summarized so far, is that it really is LA and New York, and everybody else I've heard from is like, yeah, I mean, I can get much, but I'm getting like, $450. That's pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty.
Oh yeah, I love how they try to minimize it. Like, yeah, $1,000 isn't much, motherfucker. $1,000 is a lot of money, asshole, for some people.
Yeah,
the people that are saying that are so just fucking never been normal people for so long.
Oh yeah, I know. I come from a poor family, and I'm still poor.
Right.
And trust me, to you, a grand might be nothing if you're fucking, all right, yeah, I love my $700,000 house, and I bought a riding lawnmower that also has a fucking
Wi-Fi,
has 4 gears on it, and it has its own charging station, and whatever. But for some people, you're like, wow, okay. Even if you make 20 grand a year and you're only going to save a few $100, like a few $100 for people that make 20 grand a year, you're like, whoa, some cash. I could do some stuff. I can replace that broken dresser with the drawer that always has the front fall off. It's just stuff like that. It's nice. So stop fucking turning. Stop somehow. I've read so many articles where they're like, you're stealing from children and the poor. And I'm like, stealing what?
Nancy Pelosi said it would have killed Tiny Tim.
No,
she literally said that.
The government Trump came in and said, we're still going to steal from these people, but let's dial it down a little bit. And the whole system's like, no, and they're like, we're going to lose $1 trillion in revenue. And I'm like, Obama lost us $9 trillion.
Yeah, and now you care. Now we care about the deficit. Now we care.
Now the Democrats are fiscally responsible.
Oh, what? Really? That's great.
It's insane.
You want to hear a fun fact of the day? You may have already heard this, but I'm going to give it to you anyways in case you haven't. LA County has more people in it than 46 of the United States. 46 of the states. LA County alone has more people in it than 46 states in our entire fucking country.
That's
and
insane.
people wonder why we have the Electoral College.
Oh yeah, and they want to get rid of it. I still see posts all the time. We need to abolish the Electoral College. You're like, why? It would just be LA versus New York. It would just be an NBA final. That's all this would be. It would just be an NBA Finals game. Oh, whichever giant city wants the president to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do you know how many people live all over? Like, just because somebody lives out in an area where people maintain a larger landmass and manage to not have all these entitlements and fucking Somali immigrants pouring in and stabbing everybody, maybe you don't get to vote over there. Like he has the elect. I still see it at least once a month. Abolish the Electoral College.
Oh, I've seen the memes too with Hillary, the real winner, the people's president. Yeah. Is she really? And by the way, the people's president sounds like a movie The Rock should do, where he becomes the president. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and
that's what we call it.
Oh, Chris Rock could be his
Chris Rock could be his running
vice
mate.
president.
Yeah.
I like that.
How the fuck is that woman the most admired woman in America?
Well, because everyone's a liar. To understand, the media lies, and people think that the media's done it for so many years. They figure that if they keep repeating the same lie over and over again, that people will end up buying it. Mike and I had some fans send us a message going, "Thank you so much for explaining net neutrality," because I was panicking that I was going to lose my internet. I'm like, "No, you're fine. Everything's fine. Less government's always better." All right. Oh, another since LA County gets taxed so much over there, at least your roads are great, right? Because you're already paying a lot of money, right?
Right, they're super awesome. Every time that, and for instance, we have the gas tax now, which I think we're up to 64% of people oppose. So we luckily have two people that are trying to put out an initiative to have that actually put on the ballot so that the people can actually vote if they want to fucking spend that much money on fucking gas. So yesterday, okay, I don't know how much gas is in Florida, but right now, yesterday, I went and I filled up my tank and it was $3.37 for the cheap gas.
How much? $3.37?
$3.37. And in January, that's going to go up another 28 cents.
Jesus. A gallon.
One gallon of gas. It's going to be almost $4.
More than a quarter per gallon out your pocket.
In Florida right now, you could go to the Exxon and fill it up for $2.21 a gallon. $2.21 in Florida right now.
Yeah, it's but it's like Royce said. I mean, your roads are good, and at least, like, for instance, you have a great public transportation system.
Yeah, that's good, right?
It's second to none, right?
Oh yeah, our bus system is fantastic. It gets you nowhere. If I want to go to certain areas and I want to use our quote unquote Metro Link, which is basically the subway kind of type system that they tried to do that kind of sucks. Sometimes I have to hit 2 stops, 3 buses, and then get back on the train again, and then finally make it down to fucking Union Station about 6 hours later, and where I can drive there in 40 minutes.
Sounds like almost like a lot of energy is being wasted
Well,
by the government.
By 2050, doesn't California want to have no gas cars anymore? Just electric cars, I believe I read.
Yeah, no gas cars. And once that high speed rail that we've been hearing so much about gets finished in never, where billions of dollars have already been spent on something that can't even be fucking completed. That money goes to that. And all these, and also a lot of these times when you actually, people are dumbasses here in California, because they'll sit there and they'll see a bill that says like a helping the homeless bill, and so like, oh my god, I need to vote yes for this because I'm gonna help the homeless. But what they don't see is that only 10% of it is actually going to go to helping the homeless with oversight. The other 90% is going to go into the general fund with no oversight. So you're not really getting what you pay for. But people are so fucking stupid out here that you put a fluffy little name on a bill, no one's going to read it. They're just going to be like, oh, this is great, we're going to vote for this, and then all of a sudden more money goes to protecting illegal immigrants that are convicted criminals in our state.
Oh yeah, we actually pulled up the chart that your state is the one that illegal immigrants cost the most to. I think it was, how much was it, Mike? 39 billion?
No, it was more than that. I think it was in the 40s.
40s, yeah, you're right. 43 billion.
Like 40-something billion a year that California spends on
to subsidize illegal immigrants. You mean undocumented workers? Don't be a bigot.
No, okay? I meant illegal immigrants.
Yeah. Dreamers.
There you go. Dreamers.
Yeah, and then it's like they all pretend like they're these like victimized, young kids, and they're all 30 years old, and they all have 2 rape convictions, and
Yeah, you think it's
know
the
what I mean?
Newsies.
Yeah, and they just live across the street from a school, and they're not even like subject to the same sex offender registry rules as a regular documented person. Like, it's like they get all, like, you know what I mean? It's just they're out there and you're like, well, stop being a bigot. And I'm like, look, if a bigot means that people like Dave can go let his kids play out in front of his house and he doesn't have to watch them for a few hours like we used to when we were kids, then do that. I miss those days when you're like literally, my mom would send me to the store for like cigarettes and shit. And nobody was raping me or killing me, you know what I mean? You just go to the store for my mom, and they knew, and then you ride a bike back. So it's no big deal. And it's now you can't even do shit like that. It's terrifying. As an adult male who would literally murder somebody probably for pleasure, I'm terrified just being out. Like, I'm just walking like I see some intimidating guy, and I'm like, yeah, I've thought my whole life I could strangle a motherfucker if I had to. But now, like, with all these fucking everything, I'm just gonna get shot by MS-13.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go get milk.
Because that milk is a sign of white power. It's the official drink.
That's right, and it's delicious and good for your bones.
Yes, it is.
Who fuck your bones if white supremacy is something that we need to kill and get rid of, and if it's the sacrifice of calcium in your bones, we need to make that sacrifice. America needs to make that sacrifice.
Oh, so many beta males.
And if you don't believe in that, then you're obviously a white supremacist, and you actually appreciate people. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, one way or the other. Hey, we did the whole second hour.
Yeah, we did a whole show.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you want to plug for everybody listening?
Well, if you guys want to tune in, we're going to start our radio show, Connecting Right, is going to be starting up again on January 7th. It's from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time, so later for you guys. 10 to 12, right? If I'm doing my math right? Yeah. 10 to 12 for you guys on the East Coast to watch it because it's only a local station that who uses old-timey radios anymore? I don't even fucking know. But so it's mostly a live stream show. It's on KHTS. You can find that on Facebook. We do our live stream there, and then it gets put up on YouTube later on. But check us out there. TrumpSingles.com. If you're single and you're a victim of being called a misogynist just because you voted for Trump or a racist or a xenophobe or anything else, give us a couple months and then go visit the site. I wouldn't recommend going there right now because, like I said, it's a piece of shit. Something we throw up real quick.
Stock up on goth, big titty girls, and small Asians.
Yes, so yeah, we're going to definitely work on that. And what we're going to get now that Trump has moved the Israeli embassy to Jerusalem, we're going to get a lot of Jews on our site now too. So, so if you're into, no more J-Date, just come over to us. You'll find them there. And then political pranks. Look for that on January 1st. That's going to be a lot of fun. Send some cheap gifts to people to piss them off, and trust me, you guys will have a lot of fun with that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Thanks so much. We absolutely want to have you on the show again, man. That was great.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. And maybe I can get Matt or Sean to come on next time. I tried to get Sean to come on today, but he just couldn't make it.
It's all good.
Well, send him our love, and I guess we're gonna skate out of here. We're gonna do our shilling. Dave Goss from Connecting
Take it easy,
Right
man.
Radio.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Remember to say cunt as much as you can.
We will, of course, always.
All right. Have a.
We are going to shill, I guess.
Yeah, right before we shill, I just got a big shout out to Squawker. Just posted an article giving us a little bit of love. YouTube still playing ads on Lost Profits videos even after Ian Watkins tried to rape a 1-year-old girl. This is from Squawker. This is from Alicia Sharon. Let's have a conversation about extremist content. Former YouTube advertisers, including Starbucks, pulled ads because they appeared on neo-Nazi neo-Nazi videos.
Squawker.org in the house.
But somehow none of these companies were concerned that their ads were showing up on convicted child molesters who tried to rape a 1-year-old girl. Ads from Ford, Amazon, who are part of YouTube's preferred advertisers, showed up before the Lost Profits videos play, as well as ads from Apple, Yelp, and L'Oreal. Seeing advertisements being removed from people who just want to speak their minds is unjust. Seeing advertisements instead being given to people who do actual harm to society is despicable, to say the least. Below are some screen caps and a few ads that one might see before viewing a Lost Profits video. And there was the pictures of, the Ford commercial, the Apple commercial,
Yep. Ford, Apple, of course. A lot like us and use these products, but it can be certainly said that this puts a bad taste in our mouths. There are a few others as well. And then, like you said, there's even more. This is where they even use a couple of the ones that I originally got. No one is saying anything either. Not the companies, not the mainstream media, no one. All this tells us is that companies like these don't want their ads on Monazi content. But content produced by a pedophile, they're all for it. It isn't as if this alleged behavior either. Ian Watkins was given a heavy sentence for his crimes. It goes into that. There was a BBC story. I'm sure most people that have heard this story before. Ian Watkins, he was the Lost Prophets singer. He literally did try to rape a baby. I was just up working on stuff when I was on my vacation, and I found it, and I started a little. I guess we started a little stink. So Squawker wrote about it, gave us some love.
Yeah, they give us some love. It says, so the question is, does this band get any money from these ads? More than likely they do. Are companies like Apple, Ford, and Amazon just not paying attention when their ads show up online, or does this not matter since they aren't alt-right wing talking heads? Internet personalities such as Lauren Southern and Revenge of the Sis, your boys, are suffering from little to no ad revenue, and YouTube isn't doing a thing about it. Oh, there's a screenshot. Hi, Revenge of this, and then they put our manual reviewing and limited ads, the Dan Schneider thing. So this is telling us that YouTube hates anything that isn't liberal and loves everything that is so painfully obvious in connections with pedophilia. For these companies not to demand that their ads be removed from Lost Profits videos is saying a lot. Wow. Thank you, Squawker. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Alicia Sharon at squawker.org.
That is great.
You guys should check out. We'll post that link later. Yeah, I sent that to him. I think I sent that to her on Christmas Eve, like late at night.
Yeah.
Or maybe, and I was like, yeah, they're not going to get back to me. And she wrote back right away and was like, yeah, I'll do something. And obviously it's Christmas, so that's awesome. She put it up there. So thank you to Alicia.
We appreciate that.
Check
Seriously.
out our friends at squawker.org.
Yeah, they're great.
We got to shill our own stuff.
Shill it out.
All right, at patreon.com/we're not sorry.
I delivered the Google Mini. It was delivered because I just so happened to be the person who lived 20 minutes from us. So I delivered it in the mailbox myself.
That's awesome. And then, but paypal.me/we're not sorry. Subscribe, share, rate us on iTunes, rate us on Roku if you got it. Help get the word out. And we'll bring you another show tomorrow before we go back on.
We're doing a
vacay.
special Saturday show for you guys. And keep following this Facebook stream because we're going to be doing live shows that way. All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.